Okay, sir. Yes, talking about some of the prices you paid for being an activist, can you be more elaborate, sir?
Well, my question, which I threw to the ministerial nominee, was a friendly fire. I knew him during the battle for democracy. While most of us were sent to jail, that very nominee, with other of the colleagues, went to exile and set up a radio station. And that radio became the voice of the democratic forces in Nigeria. It became the medium in which our men and women in the field could air their views and challenge the military dictatorship at that very time. The struggle for democracy, which many young people don't know what happened at that time today, was a pivotal moment in the history of Nigeria. It was a time that called for men and women of conscience to speak out and stand up. And we answered that call by mobilizing our people to the streets to protest against the military, by going to court and seek injunctions against some aspects of governance which we feel can be challenged even under the military. We use our pen and our spirit to fight the military. Now, when you stand up to challenge a government and a dictatorship of that at that very particular moment, we are bound to pay a price, because certainly there was a reaction. And the reaction came with the clampdown on democratic forces. The action came with the proscription of some organizations that have also led the struggle. The Academic Staff Union of Universities was proscribed. The Nigerian Labour Congress was proscribed. The National Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Employees was proscribed. And the National Association of Nigerian Students was also proscribed. And these were the agencies of conscience that we worked together towards fighting the military. And there were people who were arrested and sent to jail. The likes of Chief Gani Fawahim, Dr. Beko Ransom Kuti were all arrested. And Chima Obani, Femi Falana were all arrested. And there were also those who went to prison, who were forced to exile, like the Wole Soyinkas and the Kayode Fayemis and co. There were also others who were killed, like Bagauda Kalto.
Yes, intended to mention.
Yeah, so if you go back to the history of Nigeria's democracy from 1999, you will see that we have still not yet appreciated those who sacrificed their life and liberty to bring about the democracy which we are all enjoying today. So I was arrested in 1995 and then flown from Kaduna to Lagos. And then from Lagos, I was taken straight to Kirikiri prison. And some of my cellmates, whom we spent most times together at that time, were the late General Shehu Musa Adua, the Tafid Katsina, and also former President Olusegun Obasanjo, and then others from the military side, like Colonel Bello Fadili, Lawan Gwadebi, and others were also part of the tribe in court at that time. So we stayed in Kirikiri for 1 year and then we were taken to a military tribunal and sentenced to life imprisonment, and some of us were convicted to death. And then from there I was shoved to Port Harcourt prison, and I spent some time in Port Harcourt prison. Later I was also moved from Port Harcourt prison to Aba prison, Abia State. So when I hear people celebrating Mandela, Oliver Tambo, and Walter Sisulu, Stephen Biko, and all those who fought and went to prison for freedom and justice in South Africa, I will always remind people to know that there were people here who have also paid similar prices and also made similar sacrifices for the freedom which has become of Nigeria today.
All this happened during the military. Were you not scared by the powers of the guns?
Well, that is why you can't encourage anyone to be an activist. Activism comes from the inside, it's an inspiration. If you are inspired by someone and you're also propelled by your conscience, that you have faith and believe in the ideals and goals which you are pursuing, certainly you will be an activist. And then whatever happens to you, you don't have to turn back and say, this is the person that drove me into it. So when we got into activism, we were very conscious of the fact that it comes with a lot of price. And we have read from history how people who spoke out for justice, how people who fought, how they ended up. So I will say naturally, when you take the road of struggle, you should know that there is a price to pay. And that price will come with the loss of your liberty or loss of your life.
That's why I saw the pictures of Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Gani Fawehimi, your officer.
Yeah, these are heroes of democracy and freedom who, during their lifetime, they sacrificed their lives for the freedom of their people. And that's why you can see them in my office adorned on the walls. I believe that their writings, their lives, in a greater way also shaped my own activism over the years.
Finally, sir, what will be your main focus as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria?
Well, first of all is to make laws that will strengthen the unity of my country, strengthen our democracy, uplift our people out of poverty, and give meaning and quality to human life and dignity. And the same thing goes with the motions which I will raise in this assembly. They will also be in tandem with those very ideals. And then to use this opportunity I have in office to contribute to the betterment of my society and the district which I represent. And also to ensure that my people are well represented and their interests, their visions and their dreams are also presented to the national platform. So I'm here representing them, and I'm also here to ensure that I add quality and meaning to the Parliament to be able to discharge its responsibility of performing its oversight function and also holding the government to account.
Thank you very much, distinguished, for the opportunity, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.